Hi, my name is Margarita Engle. So honored to have been invited to write the text for the ICBD International Children's Day poster for 2021. The theme is the music of words, and I decided to write a short poem with some musical elements. The music of words. When we read, our minds grow wings. When we write, our fingers sing. Words are drumbeats and flutes on the page, soaring songbirds and trumpeting elephants, rivers that flow, waterfalls tumbling, butterflies that twirl high in the sky. Words invite us to dance. Rhythms, rhymes, heartbeats, hoofbeats and wing beats, old tales and new ones, fantasies and true ones. Whether you are cozy at home or racing across borders toward a new land and a strange language, stories and poems belong to you. When we share words, our voices become the music of the future, peace, joy, and friendship, a melody of hope. La música de las palabras. Cuando leemos, a nuestras mentes les crecen alas. Cuando escribimos, nuestros dedos cantan. Las palabras son percusiones y flautas en la página, pájaros cantores que se elevan y elevantes trompeteros, ríos que fluyen, las volteretas de una cascada, mariposas haciendo piruetas, muy alto en el cielo. Las palabras nos invitan a bailar, ritmos, rimas, latidos, galopes, aleteos, cuentos nuevos y viejos, fantasía y realidad. Tanto si te encuentras a gusto en casa, como si estás cruzando fronteras hacia un nuevo hogar y una lengua extraña, las historias y los poemas te pertenecen. Al compartir palabras, nuestras voces se convierten en la música del futuro, en paz, alegría y amistad. Una melodía de esperanza. For me, peacemaking words are personal. I come from a complicated family of refugees, immigrants, and people who have decided to stay wherever they were born. I choose to love them all equally. Poetry and stories help me feel hopeful. Rhymes, rhythms, and even the open spaces between words on a page create echoes in my mind like the beautiful sounds you hear for a long time after ringing the bell. Language is music. It flows in a way that is both natural and human. When we share our stories and poems, our minds grow wings, fly, and meet in midair. We begin to understand each other. We become neighbors instead of strangers. When I was invited to write the text for this poster, I knew it was both an incredible honor to have my words illustrated by Mello and an immense challenge. How could I fit the music words theme into a poem simple enough for children to enjoy, yet meaningful enough to convey empathy and hope? I am the child of travel. My mother is from Cuba and my father was from California. I was raised in Los Angeles, but I was fortunate to spend summers with the extended family in Trinidad de Cuba and on a nearby farm that inspired my lifelong love of the island's culture, music, and tropical nature. I'm going to read a poem from my verse memoir, Enchanted Air, page 11, No Place on the Map. That's this book here. And it is available in Spanish also as Aire Encantado. After those first soaring summers, each time we fly back to our everyday lives in California, one of my two selves is left behind. The girl I would be if we lived on Mommy's island instead of Dad's continent. On maps, Cuba is crocodile shape. But when I look at a flat paper outline, I cannot see the beautiful farm on that crocodile's belly. I can't find the palm trees or bright coral beaches or flying fish leaf gleaming like rainbows. Sometimes I feel like a rolling wave of the sea, a wave that can only belong in between the two solid shores. Sometimes I feel like a bridge or a storm. Travel restrictions changed everything. By the time I was a teenager, it was easier for a U.S. citizen to walk on the moon than to visit relatives in Cuba. The island suddenly existed for me only within the poetic realm of memory and imagination. Now, when people ask why I write verse novels instead of prose, the answer is simple. Poetry makes me happy. The beauty of language keeps me hopeful, no matter how sorrowful the subject. Poetry is a bridge between emotions and history. It's a bridge between cultures. Poetry is interactive, a call and response song that flows back and forth between poets and readers. Poetry is an experience, an exploration. Like music, it is meant to be enjoyed, not just analyzed. I never ask children what a poem means. Instead, I ask, how does the poem make you feel? Thank you. Gracias.
Hello, it's wonderful to be here with you. I'm Roger Mello, illustrator, author, and I would like to say hello to all of you, librarians, reading promoters, teachers, EB members all over the world. It was such a delight and honor. I was invited by Alice Vance. I was invited by IBBY USBBY, to do the design and illustration for the amazing poem by Margarita Engle, The Music of the Words. So I am a person deeply related to music. I think that reading is about rhythm. It's about feeling the music of the passing, the pacing of the pages, and when you relate with time. So the rhythm that the reader takes on each and every step on the narration line is the making of a music. It's the making of your own interpretation of the other. So Margarita Engle's text was beautiful because for me, the text, the poem was talking about music, was talking about rhythm and poetry. It was talking about the knowing that music and poems. I did a book on Engle, the first author in the world, first philosopher, first many things. And she was already a person that was relating with time. She was relating with concepts. She could make gods that were far away, many gods, human. She could humanize by including her point of view, by including the poem in the poem the pronoun I. So I and Eduana have this new dress, and I go meet Inanna, the lady of the largest heart. So every sound on a poem, like the beautiful poem that Margarita Engle did originally for ICBD, is a new concept. It's a new possibility of facing children in the world. So we are living in a moment where um, each and small phrase, each and small word, big words that you see in the wall, they have the same strength that the tablets had 4,000 years ago. So I can feel Margarita Engle's power through a message, through the visuality of her text in this poem. So I decided to, I did lots of layouts, lots of roughs, and for me it was clear that the color of the background would be pink, because pink is a color that, you know, for me colors have no meaning, but pink is a color that was persecuted. It is in Brazil, for example, in many other countries, because it's a color sometimes that it's associated with gender, and we don't know why. Because in India, the pink and the orange, these two colors, they are sacred colors. So we can understand that by reading the presence of the color, each reader does his or her own color. You understand? So everything was amazing. And then the animals. I love animals as as much as I love music and as I love literature and poetry. And so it was very clear to me that I had to have an elephant, and I had to have a white king vulture from Brazil and from South America, and I had to have camels. And I had to have animals from all over the world all together, and we had to have a violin, and also we had to have the newest sound box on the shoulder of the boy in the middle of the street of any big city and surroundings of the city, suburbs of the city, anywhere in the world. So I know that the history of ICBD, International Children's Book Day poster, is such a strong and effective way to get into every place. We know that I am a lover of IBBY. I feel like a member. I really feel like, because EB has everything to do with what I believe in through Yella Letman's philosophy. That is a philosophy of inclusion. It's pink and orange philosophy. So everything was supposed to be in that poster, but yet it should be like music. It should be something that you could feel the rhythm, and it could say to you, okay, we have many colors. Those colors are saturated colors, strong colors, but there's something on choosing each color. Each color you choose is a color less that you have to choose. So choosing colors and adding colors is not about just throwing colors randomly. No, each color is thought as a soul. So as the soul that you have to feel the sadness of the music to be able to sing or to play music in soul, as you do in Fado in Portugal. So it was very clear that there is rhythm, there are many colors, there is poetry, street poetry, but there is sadness as well, because it's a moment where we have to open our ears and mind. We have to open our and not talking only about sound, but we have to open our perception to what is happening in nowadays world. So it's a great honor. I am an IBBY fan. I'm totally inspired by IBBY. And when I was illustrating, as I tell you, I had to do many rocks. I had to do many layouts. All the time, I was thinking about Yellow Leftman, even the music of her name, Yellow Leftman, something that is in my mind, it's in the street, it's everywhere. And I think that EB has this amazing possibility of surviving like music over the plants and trees and walls and getting there. To create this illustration, I used lots of mixed media, lots of collage, and I said definitely I have to use what I love to use, that's wall paint, because wall paint is something that is free. You don't need to have the best stationery in the world, but everybody is painting houses everywhere, and this is very good that people love colors that sometimes are considered kitsch or not, they are not fancy, and I am not a fancy person. For me, I think that it's going to be fancy in the end, but you have to be yourself. I always say that when I go around countries like Brazil or Spain or India, the people, I love black, you wearing black, but people know how to mix the colors. I don't know, maybe the sun is shining so much. And I think it's amazing that all over the world, we see people bringing different colors and different possibilities. So it's about freedom. The freedom to choose a color, but not choose because you like, but because you feel the pain, you feel the soul. So I was painting and I was mixing colors. I was trying to get to the for me the right pink, the most appealing pink, and then the other colors would appear from this choice. And so I since we are in the middle of a pandemic, things got, the pandemic makes us rethink ourselves, even as author of an illustration, because we are far away, we cannot buy the biggest paper on earth, and the poster was as big as Vatican State, and I started to paint, and I did it on parts, as if I was gluing it in the wall. So it was amazing, because for the first time I used a computer in a way that I usually don't use, but it was a side technology for me, because the ink, the materiality, the physicality of the ink was there. I needed to feel that it was like a wall, that there were many textures. And I was researching on people that glue posters. When you glue the poster, you move the poster. Poster is a very strong, as a t-shirt, way of communication. So, and it is a way to reach children all over the world. It is a way to give back to the fish, to the poster, the voice of poetry, of street poetry that poster had. And in the rhythm of Margarita Engle's words, I know she's from her family is from Cuba, so that was very strong for me as well. Everything is involved. So I know that there is a voice from there. Cuba is a place that I love so much. It's a place that struggles. It's a symbol of how arts and science can resist in a world of exclusion. So, and doing this poster was all the time a way to connect to the reader, no matter where the child is in the world. So, fantastic. So, talking about Children's Book Day, which is very important, very significant for me, Hans Christian Andersen was himself a person of movement, a nomad. He was going all over the world with theater, with arts, and a book in his hand, and all the time with an idea. And so it's wonderful to be able, through narrative arts, visual arts, and poetry, which is also visual, to bring hope wherever we go. So a poster is like a book, is a flying nomadic object. So it's going to interact with children all over the world. I can imagine first this poster in Nami Island, the place, amazing place that changed my life, the life of people like Junko Yokota and so many other friends. And I can really strongly think about Nami and Korea Colors and Mr. Kang, Buryan and Nami family to Min family. And I also think about all these dreamers that know that it's hard, it's difficult to make these dreams fly away and come true and be possible. People like the sponsors in the Yamada Bee Farm. I would like to pay a tribute to Zohre, which also we go often to Nami Island. She has been a jury with us, and Anastasia from Archipova from Russia also does a wonderful job. But the Read With Me of Zohre, I have been to her foundation, and I saw the children from Iran, how we could see posters, other International Children Books Day posters, and how those posters and illustrations and text from artists, so strong voices, they could be anywhere. They could also be in Japan, and I want also to pay a tribute to Asahi newspaper. And I know it's a net. It's a net of people that make this poetry, make this beat possible, make the rhythm and poetry that inspired rap. This idea of is the same idea that Homer did and Hedwana did a long time ago. So Fernando Pessoa. So it's amazing to be there with Alice Vance, with USPBY. Thank you so much for inviting me. And I feel like a member of USPBY too. And thank you so much. Thank you so much, IBBY. And let's sing that poem all together.